Happy Independence, Nigerians. This week on Street Tech, we hear Nigerians share their opinion on whether e-voting is a viable alternative to manual voting in Nigeria. Come along.
Actually, I would say Nigeria is growing. Come democracy, you can never attain that height in a day. Even America is still struggling. So Nigeria is growing. We are still in the process of attaining true democracy.
We can see the way the so-called government itself is trying to abuse the democracy. You can see it yourself. So the stuff is there for us all to see.
I don't think there is democracy in Nigeria. Understand? Because the system of Nigerian government is so harsh. It's not democratic in nature.
I don't know what to say seriously because the economy is not. We are feeling the impact negatively, so it's not something good to talk about. So let me just keep it there.
I believe there has never been anything democratic about our electoral system and about our politics. So it's not something that has to do with what do I think. It is what you can see. It's everywhere. Do you think there has been anything democratic about what we're doing?
Left to me, we are not progressing. Because what actually are we celebrating for? Is it the 60 years of total darkness or unemployment?
I think it's still the same, 60 years but still a baby. No change, no difference. That's it.
The fact is that the leaders are not looking into what they really need look into. Because many people are lacking behind in this country. People are not even excited that we want to celebrate these 60 years of democracy. That's just the fact. People are just laughing it away.
I like this democracy because it is by the people, for the people, and people have rights to do anything you have to do in Nigeria, especially the good thing you have to render to make this Nigeria great.
No, it's not free and fair. We just have to be sincere with ourselves.
It's not.
Nothing has ever been free and fair in Nigeria, and if we ask that question, just like trying to repeat anything. I think it's not just election, everything in Nigeria has always been based on the ideology of godfatherism and people believing that you can always go away with anything. So election hasn't been free and fair, my opinion though.
For me, I think some states are free and fair, while some other are not.
I don't think so. I don't know, but what I see them, they don't do it right, especially in that polling unit. They don't do it right.
I would say no because the whole system is not well structured. There's room for corruption in everything that they do over there. So no.
No, not really. That's not be free and fair. That's not, because there is so many things that involve violence and all of so many things. So there's so many things involved. That's not be free and fair for me.
Election anywhere in the world can never be free and fair. Anywhere, not even in America. But I would rather say that we will continue to work towards attaining true democracy.
Never. It's not free and fair election.
And a situation where we'll have a true mandate, where the issue of godfatherism, as was displayed recently in Edo State election, I believe where we have such issues scrapped away, where a true mandate will prevail.
Yeah, so some extent, even though the last election conducted in Edo State, compared to the other election that we've been having for some years, I think the one we did of recent is still a little bit okay compared to the one of the past, which means that with time we are going to we will be used to it, and then I'll come up with the best solution for our election, especially in terms of the violent rigging of the election and some other thing like that.
manual or e-voting, both are good, but I think because of the way the world is changing and because of how things are going, I think we should go for e-voting.
E-voting should be the thing to do. E-voting should be the thing to do.
Electronic.
Though it is still something that we have not really implemented here, but I believe with what we have been doing here with the paper and all of that, it has shown that paper is not working. So why not we try e-voting? Though there are still gray areas for us to meet up with, but it's something we should give it a try.
I would prefer electronic. So the reason I would prefer electronic is because of the insecurity issue in some parts of the country. So where people can just actually just be at home and vote. And if it's electronic, there should be a platform where people can actually see the person they vote for. Maybe that will reduce free and fair election in Nigeria. Maybe to control it a bit.
I would prefer the e-voting. Because with the e-voting, there's nothing like ringing, or there will not be need for you to snatching of ballots, but everything will be online and it will be counted online as well. So e-voting is the best.
I would prefer e-voting.
I prefer e-voting. Why? Because then looking at it, the manual voting, the disadvantages is quite much on Nigerians. Why? Most people on the election day, because of the violent stuff, they don't even want to register, not a place of coming out to vote. But the e-voting, even Nigerians outside the country can vote online.
If we are to talk about e-voting will still be preferable, but there is going to be lapses in votes in e-voting, so it's not 100%, but I would still prefer e-voting.
Yeah, like someone that is a tech advocate, I believe that when we tend to bring something tech in place, it will make the process very easy for us, and then also it will make it somehow transparent. It's not that what is it called, spending so many days for them to be able to count the number of votes. Just try and imagine, as you are voting online, the total number of votes is trying to come up in real time. You understand? So as people are voting, you can see the results displayed in real time. Instead of us to be spending maybe 2 days before we bring all the votes together across like different states. So I believe if you come up with an e-voting system, it's something that will definitely help us in this country.
I'll pick e-voting, but I will still then say it boils down to our kind of person, our belief. We need to change our orientation. It's not about the type of vote. If people still do e-voting and they will still believe in the idea of changing the data that has been collected and bringing up another data, then I feel it's something of discipline. Whether we do e-voting, we do manual voting, we still then have to be very disciplined. We need to know that integrity is key. We need to know that our reputation as a country is at stake when we are not being honest in our election. So I will pick e-voting, but I think it's still more than the type of voting we choose.
And then also, if we try and come up with an e-voting system, we believe that, look at it now, during the last election, they spent, like, if you look at the budget, they spent billions of naira just for them to conduct election. If they try to do that every 4 years, why not make use of that money to some other sectors? So if they come up with an e-voting system, that will actually help us to reduce the cost of election every 4 years, which I think is the best thing for us.
It can and it cannot, because still it is human being that is controlling the electronic voting of thing. So
yes, I think electronic voting can, not might, it will eradicate it in Nigeria.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And then also it will then also help us to reduce the cost of election in Nigeria.
I won't say it would eradicate or remove. I would rather say it would reduce. I would prefer to say it would reduce because of the technicism in there. Like you don't really get to manipulate in data, but that's not to say that it's impossible in that kind of setting as well, but it would at least reduce the level of corruption in the election process.
I believe if we do it right, and when you vote 2 times, the machine will reject. If you do it right, I think you will be okay.
Yes.
It cannot eliminate. Why? It's because it is still same people that run the normal process. There are still the same people that will run the electronic process. So it's still the same thing. It's just that the electronic voting will just be free and fair in a bit, in a way, not 100%. Let me say 70, 80, because everything is still run by people. Get?
It reduces mismanagement of the process, misconduct. If we have manual, of course, I could have my people, the person in charge could have been bribed to manipulate the process. But when you have e-voting, the electorate can stay and watch the process as they count and record their votes, so to say. So e-voting is just the best for me.